Hey everybody, we are going to start our course here with chapter one, and we're going to be looking at the topic of choosing your career. So as you should have done in the reading already, you've talked about this or you've read about it, and so we're just going to look in a little bit more detail at some of these different things, looking at jobs and careers, coping with change, and reinventing yourself. So the goals are to discuss career and job trends, to describe the sources of job information, and to complete a job analysis, um, understanding what that would look like if you were to list positive and negative features of potential career choices. Looking at the future, there are major groups of occupations of jobs that maybe have more promise in the future. Um, and if you're interested in that, you can look at these different job titles and descriptions in these different resources: the Dictionary of Occupational Titles, Occupational Outlook Handbook, Monthly Labor Review. Um, so these are some different categories in the OOH. There's management, professional, service, sales, administrative, farming, construction, installation, production, transportation, and the armed forces. So a job analysis is an evaluation of the positive and negative attributes of a given type of work. So if you think about it, every job is going to have things that are good, it's going to have things that are bad, and you're never going to have a job that you like every single part of. But what you want to think through in a job analysis is this particular job a good fit for me? Is it the positives I'm looking for with negatives that I can deal with? Or does a job end up for you personally having more negatives and fewer positives? And that's what you kind of want to look through when you're looking at a job analysis. So this is just an example of what a job analysis form might look like. You'd want to think about the title, the salary, what are skills, education, and experience required, and then you think about positive features, things like benefits, like promotion opportunities, like other types of considerations that you might want to think about. And on the other side, you want to think about negative features. What are some employee expenses? What are work requirements that you might want to think about? And what are other considerations to keep in mind? All right, next, thinking about positive features of employment in a little bit more detail. So we're looking at salary. Salary is the amount of monthly or annual pay that will earn from your job. So how much are you going to get paid over the course of the year, and then breaking that down over the course of each month, how much are you going to be paid? Benefits are things that are added on to salary, things like sick pay, like how much vacation time do you get. Some companies offer things like profit sharing or stock options where you can actually sort of get additional financial benefits. If a company is doing well, you could own stock in the company you work for and get paid on top of your regular salary. Health insurance is another big one. Does your company provide good health insurance, and how much do you have to pay for it on a monthly basis? Those are really important things to consider. Another thing you might want to think about is there opportunity for promotion? Is there opportunities for you to move up in the company, to get higher benefits or better benefits, a higher salary, things like that? Negative features you want to think about are expenses. How much does it cost for you to actually work there? So, for instance, there's things like transportation. You have to pay to drive or take the train or whatever. You may have to pay to park in particular places. Gas, bus fare. Some of these things can make a job less attractive. So you might really like a job, but it's very far away, and the expenses that you would have to put out make it not worth it. Other characteristics like where are you going to be working, indoors versus outdoors? Are you going to work with a team? Are you going to have a lot of stress or low stress? And each person is different. Some people might be okay with having working in a high pressure, high stress environment, and other people might say that that's not what they want from their work. And so that's where you'd have to look and weigh out those positive and negative features. Um, Another avenue that you might go in at some point in your life is entrepreneurship, because an entrepreneur is somebody who organizes, manages, and assumes the ownership risks of new businesses. So think about like Shark Tank. Those are entrepreneurs who are coming before the sharks and are presenting their business ideas. Um, you may work for a family business, and the opportunity may present itself for you to continue with that. It could be purchasing an existing business or franchise. It could be starting a new business from scratch. All of those are examples of entrepreneurship. There are some advantages, obviously, to owning your own business. You get to make the decisions. You get to be your own boss. You get to be in control of your future, keep the profits. But there are disadvantages. It's a huge risk. Many businesses end in failure. You have to put out a large investment of planning and time and money. New small businesses often don't succeed because of lack of financing or lack of skills. You're also at the risk of factors that you have no control over. Think about what's happening right now with coronavirus and how it's affecting businesses. They had no way of knowing or controlling that could happen. So you're taking a high risk. Many businesses aren't profitable for a long time, and entrepreneurs don't cut themselves a salary for perhaps 4 or 5 years. Okay, lesson 1.2, coping with change and reinventing yourself. So we're going to look at techniques for coping with change, and as you go in your career, you may need to reinvent yourself because of multiple factors. Thinking about this, be a lifelong learner, stay informed as you are actively seeking new knowledge and skills. It makes you a more attractive employee. You can do that by taking classes, by upgrading your knowledge, by retraining things that you already know, by pursuing advanced degrees. And those all things make you more attractive to employers, or perhaps can get you higher scale in terms of salary and things like that. One thing to think about is a self-assessment, and this is something that you should consider doing even now as you're thinking about employment in the future. Take an inventory. What are your strong and weak points? What is the plan that you might have for improvement as you prepare for a career? Does the career you're considering have room for you to improve yourself? Will it be fulfilling and satisfying to you? These are just some things to take into consideration when you're thinking about self-assessment. What are your strengths in terms of your education, your experience, your aptitudes and abilities, your appearance? What are your weaknesses? What's your plan of action to address those weaknesses to make yourself more attractive as an employee? There are things called placement centers. Lots of schools, colleges, and technical institutes have these services, and they can help you find a career and find a place of employment. They assist with self-assessment, inventories. They give you advice. They give you testing for your interests and your abilities, and what vocation just means job. What kind of testing you might be interested in helps you to know when jobs are opening. As you go in your life, you may be looking for a change in career. That happens for lots of different reasons. Maybe because maybe you want to get paid more, or your interests shift over time. When you're looking at a career change, you want to think about what are the long-term sustainability of a job. Is this going to be there for you in the years to come? Is the world economy moving towards something that will make this valuable moving into the future? You want to think about networking. One of the biggest things in finding a job is who you know. It's almost more important than what you know in a lot of ways. Knowing people through that, whether that's through friends or family or social networking or sites like, what's the site? I can't remember it now. Oh, well, it'll come to me. You probably know what I'm talking about. LinkedIn, that's what it is. LinkedIn. These are networking sites that help you to get connected with other people, to set yourself up well for opportunities in the future. So that's it for chapter 1.1 and 1.2. Just overview of job opportunities and things like that.